Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I'm Sean, this is In The Mixer as we continue our One Season Wonder series with England trying in this episode to lift the European 2020 Championships. Of course that tournament didn't happen in real life, so it's a bit of kind of wish fulfillment. If it had gone ahead, how would England have gone? And this one might be a little bit of a marathon. We will try and cut some games out if we can. We have a massive fixture starting up against Croatia, who are the other side in our group, that I think will potentially finish top of the division. If we win that game, win the next one, we might leave out the third match. But tremendous amount of football to be played. Let's jump in and have a look at how we've gone so far. So kicking off from the last episode, if we have a look at our schedule, we of course played France, lost 2-1, and then beat Italy 1-0. A good Gomez header. We then had a fantastic performance beating Brazil 3-0 at Wembley and then thumping the US 6-0 a couple of days later. So a perfect build-up, wonderful results in the lead-up, and we go into our games against Croatia, Scotland and Ukraine, confident that we should get out of the group. Like I said in the intro, if we beat Croatia, if we beat Scotland, that Ukraine game should be a good opportunity to rotate players quite a bit. We should be guaranteed of getting out of the group with 2 early victories. If we don't, I'll try and bring you that game. But of course, we're also going to have a draw for the knockout rounds as well. We should definitely make it out of the group. If we don't, it's going to be a disaster and I'll probably get sacked. So anything could happen. Speaking of, we should look at the performance. They haven't really given me anything in terms of like how the team is supposed to do in this competition, which I think is kind of interesting. I'm not sure what is actually going to happen if we don't do well in the competition or if we win it or what the scenario is. But so far, the FA seem relatively happy. As far as the squad goes, there are a couple of enforced changes. Unfortunately, Joe Gomez is the one that's out. He picked up an injury which kind of sees him out for a good 4 or 5 months, which sucks. I brought in Taylor Harwood-Bellis, who's done fine. He's one of the wonder kid kind of players that we're hoping will potentially get to this level. Not necessarily reflective of where they are now. He will be the 4th choice centre back. It does mean Fikayo Tomori will likely start the majority of the games in central defence. He's had a good season though, 37 appearances for Chelsea in the Premier League, 7.07 match rating as well. Has played a few FA Cup games, a couple of European Championship qualifying games for us, and done quite well. So the hope is that he will continue that good run of form into this tournament and be a good foil to play alongside John Stones. The other change that I've made is that I've left out Mason Greenwood. I've given Tammy Abraham a start. He played 29 times in the Premier League for Chelsea this season, scored 15 goals in that period. He was the 2nd highest English scoring player. Jamie Vardy was top, but obviously he's too old. We don't really want to work with him going into the next World Cup cycle. So I've given him the nod ahead of Mason Greenwood, who is still, of course, working his way back to full potential. And I've also left out Bukayo Saka, who was a player that I was going to bring in to be a backup left winger. I'm going to play Dwight McNeil. He had a great season, 35 appearances for Burnley, 6.88 as an average match rating, got 4 assists in that time as well. He's had a good season and I want to reward that a little bit. Plus, I kind of like having a left-footed player available on the left-hand side. At the moment, we're very, if we look at the starting lineup and stuff, right-footed in the way that we have Sancho and stuff cutting in from that side. If we do need to go to a little bit more width, it's good to have that option on the bench that we can bring on. So that's a couple of changes. The squad otherwise is pretty much the same as what we want to be trying to go out and get throughout each of these tournaments, and a lot of the players are coming off very good performances for their teams in the division so far this season. As far as the league is concerned, Liverpool won it, only 2 points, not quite running away with it as they have in the real world before, the pandemic kind of struck and everybody went into lockdown. The Champions Cup was won by Atletico Madrid. They beat Bayern Munich in the final 1-0. No English team made it past the quarterfinals. Liverpool and Man City were the representatives there. A little bit disappointing. But I guess if you wanted to focus on an English thing, at least Kieran Trippier has a Champions League title to add to his collection. He's not in the squad. That's fine. Interestingly, Bournemouth did quite well. Lewis Cook obviously having a good season, getting them to 8th spot, but there was a massive gap between the top 7 sides and the sides above that. Not really anything left to do but to jump forward and look at the lineups for the game against Croatia. Probably the biggest tie of the group stages for us as well. Right, so this is the lineup that we're going with. Pickford in goal, Stones and Tomori as the 2 central defenders there. I'm hopeful that Tomori is going to do as well as he can for us. Chilwell and Alexander-Arnold as the 2 wing-backs. Madison and Cook in central midfield, holding the base there. Dele Alli at the 10, Sancho on the left wing, Sir Sterling on the right, and Kane leading the line up top and wearing the captain's armband. Of course, Croatia have a fantastic midfield group here. They've gone a little bit interesting in, I think, the way that they've lined up. Livakovic in goal, Vida and Lovren, who had wonderful World Cups getting them through to the final, continued their partnership in centre defence. Sosa at left back, Basalco from Atletico Madrid at right back. Modric, of course, the captain, will anchor their midfield. It's a very similar structure and lineup to ours, actually. Kovacic plays alongside him. And at the 10, they've gone with Nikola Vlasic from CSKA Moscow. Looks solid, not spectacular. I don't think he's quite as good as Rakitic, but they've pushed Rakitic out onto the right-hand side. It'll be interesting to see if that change messes with their balance in any way. He could still be playing as an advanced playmaker. I'm not quite sure what the structure is like. Perisic from Bayern Munich will play on the left-hand side, and Petkovic from Dinamo Moscow leads the line up top. Interesting one there. I'm not sure if Mandzukic is retired or something, but he doesn't seem to be in the squad at all. So Rebic also can't get in. So quite a bit of strength on the bench as well. Strinic is there, Brozovic is there, Kramovic, Jevar is a very, very good young player coming through at Bayer Leverkusen. We're going to assertively tell everyone if we play our game, we'll win. And I'm also going to assertively tell the defence, I have faith in you to get out there and make a difference. On paper, we should be beating Croatia, but as we know with Croatia, it very rarely actually matters what's on paper. They seem to perform tremendously well in all tournament environments. First highlight of the game, Chilwell with the throw-in, played back to Maddison. Let them commit, boys, and now play it forward. Stones does quite well, just making Rakitic do doggies there on the right-hand side. Sancho balling behind for Kane. He's one out against a few defenders. He just needs to slow up. Finds Maddison at the edge of the area. Resets through Cook. Now to the right-hand side with Alexander-Arnold. Can we get a decent ball in the box? A few bodies back stick, and Kane was there. Oh, very similar to the semi-final performance where he potentially should have found the back of the net in a 1v1. He's just knocked that one past the far post. And hopefully that's not a sign of things to come, and we can find the back of the net early and settle my nerves a little bit. Maddison coming forward with the ball now. Modric has gone through him. Oh, he's been called over by the ref, and he's been sent off straight red card for Luka Modric. Definitely got that little bit of fight in him, but I didn't see that one necessarily coming. They're down to 10, and potentially their best player, Ballon d'Or winner Modric, is off the pitch. Throw in here, Chilwell to Maddison. Dele Alli sends Sancho in behind. He's got to drag the fullback across instead. He looks for Kane inside. He does a wonderful little turn, loses out. Croatia back in possession. The highlight comes to an end. We got through 30 minutes. I'm going to demand more here. If we can get a goal just before half time, I think it's going to crush their spirits just a little bit. Deep free kick. Sosa with a long one forward. No one challenges midfield, disappointingly. Rakitic now. He's moved to a central role. Vasalko looks to be playing a little bit further forward at right back. Back to Lovren. Ball over the top. Petkovic, we should do better. Dele Alli wins the ball back tremendously well in midfield. Sterling goes on a bit of a run on the right-hand side. Can he get a ball in the box? Hangs it towards back post. It's headed away. Nikola Vlasic comes now. Someone's got to step to the ball. No one does, and he's gone on a long run and finally gets a strike away at Pickford. The first striking angle we've seen, and it goes with 10 men of Croatia. Thrown here, right-hand side. We are seeing a bit of a higher frequency in highlights here. Cook with the ball. Resets through to Mori, who so far has done fine. Switches over to Stones. Waits for the central striker to commit. I quite like that aspect of the formation and shape that we're playing. Chilwell with the ball now. Sends it in the corner to Sancho. Squares back up towards Maddison. Sancho again. Back to Chilwell. Keeping possession quite nicely. Maddison, good little reverse pass to Sancho. Now Kane looks across. It's a poor ball though. Sosa clears it forward to Petkovic. Now Vlasic is just bursting forward at every opportunity. Finds Perisic on the left. And I think he's gone through him. They're going to go over and have a look at VAR here. This is potentially going to be a penalty for Croatia. Can you say against the run of play? They've had the last couple of highlights. He goes over to have a look. It's a rash challenge from Alexander-Arnold. Probably just needed to stand him up. He didn't have much to cross towards. And he has given a free kick just outside the box. Oh, it's going to be an interesting one. Perisic is a very good free kick taker, as is Rakitic, who I think is who's walking over to this one. He's talking to Alexander-Arnold. Are we going to also go down to 10 men? Be a very, very rash decision from the referee. 2 red cards in the first half of the first game, I think, of the European Championships. But he wanders over now. No, he just gives him a warning. We've only got 2 in the wall, which is maybe a little bit of a concern. Rakitic to take. Goes back stick. Tomori with a good header away. Dele Alli recovers. Looks to send Kane up the line. He's 2v1 here against the defence, but we've got players flooding forward to support. Vida with a good challenge, and the highlight comes to an end. We might have gotten away with one a little bit there. And through the first half, we've had 7 shots, 1 on target, 56% of the ball. Croatia, 5 shots, 3 on target, 44%. They've actually seemingly got a little bit better since they went down to 10 men. Assertively, I'm going to say, let's say passionately. Pleased with how things are going. Oh, they've all switched off. That's gone terribly. Assertively, looking for you to make a difference. I think there's a lot more to come from you. That one worked. Let's try that again for Harry Kane. Okay, so we've had pretty much a disastrous halftime team talk. As always, we'll give it 15 minutes. We might switch to attacking for the last 30 minutes. We really need to try and press this advantage here. All right, we're through now. So we're going to go to attacking, which is just a little bit more direct. Dele Alli struggled, so we'll bring on Phil Foden, see if he can make a name for himself. Harry Kane's also struggled. Might bring on Tammy Abraham. And Sterling has struggled as well. I'm going to bring on, instead of Dwight McNeil, I'm going to bring on Marcus Rashford. And we're going to switch up Rashford and Sancho and potentially push Rashford a little bit further forward Play him as an inside forward on attack. And let's see, it's a gamble to make 3 sales. We're probably definitely going to go down to 10 men, but I have faith in you, make a difference. No one cares. And let's also, Old Faithful, after any art, use our get creative shout. Deep free kick, Madison sends it back post. Tamori with a good header. If he had found a corner, that'd have been in, but straight at Livakovic, does quite well to save and hold. Is that the end of the highlight, or are we going to see some further detail here? Livakovic, long one forward. Chilwell should bring it down on his own. Does quite well. Inside to Stones, now Cook. Looks out left towards Rashford, the fresh sub. What can he do taking on the man? Skips past one challenge, gets in the box, gets the strike away, and Livakovic with an excellent save to push that one around the far post. Good contribution from Rashford. That's what we need from our subs in these tournaments. Sancho works the short corner routine, back to Madison. Squares it up, it's a poor ball back into the box. Kovakovic gets it away. Or Kovakovic, I don't think is an actual player. Oh, the clock's ticking down, and we're going to demand more for the last 10 minutes here. Can we push on and try and find a winner in this one? Chilwell and Alexander-Arnold both on yellow cards now. 89th minute. Highlight starts with Croatia possession. Phil Foden's got the ball though. Looks to play it out towards Sancho. It's a poor pass, but Foden recovers possession. Wide area, gets a strike away. Livakovic with a good save. Sends it out for the corner. Going to be taken by Madison. Can he wrap his foot around this one and find a target? Not a bad ball in, but Psalic wins it back. Alexander-Arnold, or the highlight comes to an end. There's 3 minutes of additional time to be added on here, and we're through that now. Oh, it's a disappointing 0-0 draw to start the group. 17 shots, 7 on target, 55% possession. We were playing against 10 men. The interesting part will be that Modric will be suspended for I think the next game, maybe the next 2, where they'll play either Scotland or Ukraine. They had 8 shots, 4 on target, 45% of the ball. But really, it feels like 2 points dropped rather than a point earned. Calmly, let's say you weren't good enough today, and at least everyone's responded positively. Disappointing that I got the team talk wrong in that one. Group D gets underway. James Madison with 7.1 gets the Player of the Match award. Not the highest rating in the world. And the press already turning the screws. England must build on the draw. What does that do to the competition structure? Scotland beat Ukraine, so our next game against Scotland will be massive. We'll jump forward to that one now. Have a look at the 2 lineups as well. So just like that, we're a few days forward. It's a proper old enemy match here. Scotland have a very good young lineup. We'll go through ours first. It's unchanged. So Pickford in goal, Stones, Tamori as the centre-backs, Chilwell and Alexander-Arnold both now on yellow card bands as the full-backs. Madison and Cook will play as the 2 anchors. Dele Alli, I'll give him another opportunity at the number 10 role. Sancho and Sterling on the wings, and Kane up top, though we will keep an eye on Rashford. He was busy when he came off the bench in the first match. They've got McCrory in goal, who's making his international debut, it looks like, 22-year-old Rangers goalkeeper. John Sutar, brother of Socceroo Harry, will partner McKenna from Aberdeen at the back there. This is where I potentially think we can get at in that central midfield area. They're playing Kieran Tierney on the right-hand side of fullback. He might be an inverted wing-back though, cutting back in onto his favoured left foot. Robertson, of course, the captain, will start at left-back, one of the better left-backs in world football. They've gone very defensive with a number 6 here. Ryan Jack from Rangers will anchor midfield. John McGinn, of course, from Aston Villa, scored some absolute crackers last season. In the Championship, he will play in midfield. McTominay from Manchester United will play alongside him. We've gone with James Forrest on the right wing from Celtic, who's solid but not spectacular. Oh no, he's actually at Everton. Everton just picked him up, it looks like, in the January transfer window. And Celtic's Callum McGregor will play on the left wing. It leads Grant from Huddersfield up top, leading the line. Only 22, like they've got quite a very young side. You'd expect Scotland to do well over the next 4 or 5 years as well. But let's beat the living piss out of them. Passionately, let's say, let's give the fans the performance they're expecting. At least I've got that team talk right. If we get 3 points, I think it puts us in a good position to get out of the group. But we do have to keep an eye on the game between Croatia and Ukraine as well. If Croatia get a good result, that puts the pressure really on that last performance to us go out and do the job against Ukraine. Through 30 minutes, no highlights for either side. I'm going to use our demand more shout. Everyone seems focused. If we can get one before half time, or just even a highlight for either side, would be great, because the content is not doing its best. It's a corner for Scotland, and they managed to poke it home. Carlin Grant with the ball. It was a decent corner in from Forrest, and then I think it was McTominay with the initial header forward. Looks like Tamori's made a mistake in the build-up, missing his header. Check it out here in 3D. Forrest goes near post. McTominay was there, and it goes straight past Tamori's head, and Grant from about a yard out pokes that one home for a lead to Scotland. Let's go into the dressing room and aggressively say, where is your passion, lads? Do you even want to win this match? And let's just go attacking for the second half. We've got nothing to lose. We might as well... Actually, no, let's leave it on positive. I've changed my mind. Scotland are putting me in all sorts of danger of losing the job at the moment. It'll be the quickest one season wonder save I think we've ever done, if I only make it 2 episodes into the week and then get sacked. I've been sacked a couple of times in Football Manager 2020. Madison with a free kick here. Towards back stick. Someone's gone down to the box. I think it was Stones. The referee is again going to make the long run all the way over to... Oh no, he's just giving the penalty straight up. Harry Kane's going to take. Can he find parity here with about 30 minutes remaining? Sends the keeper the wrong way. It's a wonderful effort. To get the ball. Don't worry about running off to the corner flag. While we're doing that, let's look at our tactics. Sancho's really struggled in this one. We're just struggling to get wingers performing at a good clip. They were fantastic against Brazil, so I'm not sure where that's gone. Sterling also struggling on the right-hand side. I'm going to leave him out there, though. And Tamori struggled a little bit, so we might give Twanzebe some game time. And Alexander-Arnold on a yellow card. He's going to miss the next match. We might as well get him through the rest of this one. Let's hold on to that last sub for the last few minutes. Passionately, I have faith in you. And they both seem to have responded positively. We've had a highlight there that I've missed while I was making the subs. So immediately getting stuck back in. Let's use our Get Creative shout as well. Everyone seems inspired by it, which is good. We need to try and find a winner here, though. Corner again for Scotland. It's where they hurt us in the first one. Backstick runner, and Sutar has gotten the goal. I need to go and talk through our corner routines at the moment because this is not going tremendously well. Sutar puts them a goal up. It's like a pretty deep corner. Forrest goes very deep to back post. And is that John Stones? It is. It's John Stones loses it out to the centre-back. We had a guy on front post as well. Somehow it wriggles past him and beyond the keeper as well for a 2-1 Scotland lead. We're going to have to go attacking here. Last couple of minutes. I've got another sub up my sleeve as well. Let's use that now. All right, I'm going to bring on Phil Foden. We're going to also use our Get Creative shout for the last 10 minutes here. We've got to push. We've got to go for a goal. We've gone to attacking as well. Getting through additional time. There's 4 minutes to be added on. Are we about to lose to Scotland in the Euros? I think we are. Oh, the wheels are coming off already. So 14 shots, 5 on target, 58% possession. They've had 6 shots, 4 on target, and 42% of the ball. I might be out of a job. Assertively, you weren't good enough today, and at least they've responded positively. I can't believe we can beat Brazil 3-0, beat the US 6-0, and then lose to Scotland 2-1. McTominay gets the Man of the Match award for his result there. Actually, I'm going to storm out of the press conference, because why not? Rashford's disappointed. England remained upbeat. England's squad react negatively. And let's say... Okay, Sancho's upset about something, but whatever, that's fine. What does that do to the actual league here? So Scotland have qualified. Croatia are in second, having beaten Ukraine. We have to beat Ukraine and hope Scotland beat Croatia. It's not ideal, I'm not going to lie. Magic of editing, let's jump forward to the game against Ukraine now. Alright, it's all or nothing. So we're going to go attacking from the off. I've made 2 changes. I brought on Rashford for Sterling. He'll play on the left wing. Sancho will move to the right. And I've dropped Dele Alli for Phil Foden, who's going to play at the number 10. Alexander-Arnold is suspended, so Max Aarons comes in. He'll move to wing back on defend. Ukraine aren't as weak as potentially they look at the moment in the division. Zinchenko, we know, is a very good player. Junior Marais is quite a good player as well. Conor Plianka at Schalke, obviously an excellent player as well. So they've got a little bit of ability about them, but we have to go after it. Passionately, we're going to say we can secure a path to the second round. We have to hope that Scotland beat Croatia. So it's out of our hands as things currently stand. We just have to keep an eye, I guess, on the other results as well. Throw in here for Ukraine. Chilwell gets it away. Kane should turn and can dribble. He's got a man on the right in Sancho. Plays him in now. He's got goal side. It's a wide area, but he's done well to get the strike past the goalkeeper, but it just clips the post on its way out. Need to be finishing those chances, boys. Chilwell with the throw in here. Finds Foden. Oh, he's gone past the man, and are we going to go have a look at VAR again? I hate this animation. Look at we should start a timer. I'll forget to do it in the edit, but we should start a timer at how long it takes the referee to run across the pitch. Everyone's frozen, everyone's standing still. Run across the pitch, have a look at a screen, and then come back out and make a decision. It's going to be a penalty, or it's going to be a yellow card for Foden. Yeah, he's given the penalty. Just give the penalty, Football Manager. Sports Interactive, sort this out. There's no reason for this to take as long as it is. And that's not just me getting pissy because we're probably going to get knocked out of the Euros in the group stage. It's just a waste of everyone's time. Kane's going to get the opportunity to get his second goal of the tournament from the penalty spot. What can he do from here? He does quite well, actually. Sends it to the right. The keeper did kind of move slightly, but it had enough pace and power on it that it was past him by the time he made the reaction. And we go a goal up. But again, out of our hands, we've got to see what happens over in the Scotland-Croatia game. If they're both playing out for a 0-0 draw, I will be absolutely furious. Still donuts for both sides in that one. Corner to be taken. Maddison, deep ball in. It's headed away, but Foden at the top of the box will get an opportunity. Maddison, played to Foden. Now to Tamori. Deep ball across to Rashford, back post. Oh, he nearly gets a strike away, but closed down well by the Ukraine defence. Stones was in a weird area as the highlight comes to an end. 30 minutes ago, we'll use our Get Creative shout. I just want to try and push our goal difference to as positive as humanly possible, just in case it does come down to goal difference with Croatia. Pickford with the goal kick here. Stones runs it across to Tamori. Now to Foden. Does quite well, turns and carries the ball through midfield. He's got numbers on the left. Plays through Chilwell now. Resets through Stones. We've got a nice little triangle here to work the ball to Madison. Chilwell looks for the one over the top to Kane. He does well to knock it down. Then Foden sends a crossfield switch towards Sancho. Cuts it back towards Kane. Gets the header in, but just over the crossbar. Good little build-up play there. Probably a little bit more direct than we needed to be from the back. But at half-time, 1-0 up. 7 shots, 1 on target, 50% of the ball. They've had 4 shots, 1 on target, and 50% possession. Tactically, let's just drop back and go to our positive structure. Otherwise, everything's the same. And we'll go into the dressing room and say, happy with the performance so far. Keep it up. How are things going in the other fixtures? Still 0-0 between Scotland and Croatia, which is enough to see them through. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I need Scotland to beat Croatia for us to get through. We're through an hour now with no further highlights. Let's have a look at some subs. Rashford hasn't played particularly well either, so let's bring on Sterling. Sancho struggled again, so we might take him off and bring on Dwight McNeil, who's I think going to make his first England appearance. Set him to a winger on attack. Chilwell struggled. Max Aaron struggled. James Maddison's probably underwhelmed a little bit. We'll give Mason Mount a debut as well. Passionately, let's say I have faith in you guys to make a difference, and let's also use a Get Creative shout. Everything's out of our hands at the moment. We're just watching the clock tick down as Scotland and Croatia pretty much just play out in the little draw, and we just cannot seem to find the back of the net. We came into this one full of absolute fantastic performances against Brazil and the US, but as we know, anything can happen when you reload the game, and anything can happen when you start recording. 5 minutes of additional time. We're going to see any late drama in the Scotland-Croatia game here. We're desperate to see something. I didn't see anything flash up there at the end. Ukraine in the end, 8 shots, 3 on target, 49% possession. We had 17 shots, 4 on target, and 51% of the ball. I'm going to say, good win, lads. No need to crush everyone's mentality. Croatia and Scotland have played out a 0-0 draw, so we've been eliminated. Oh no, we do qualify for the second round. How the hell have we done that? England win against Ukraine. Tamori gets the man of the match award after, I think, struggling in the first 2 games. We're going to send our assistant to that. How the hell have I gotten out of the group stage? Okay, we've qualified somehow, miraculously. Is there like a best place third place team or something like that? Oh, I'm looking around. A couple of big sides have struggled. So somehow, some miracle, I've managed to somehow squeeze out from 3rd position. And the expectation is still that we reach the semi-final, which is just, I'm not super confident about it, to be honest. So looking around the groups, Greece got eliminated from Group A. Wales, Italy, and Sweden all make it through. Russia and Belgium, that's a very interesting one. Belgium were previously highest ranked team in the world, but they're going home in the group stage. Denmark and Czech Republic go through. Portugal, Switzerland, and Holland make it out of Group C. North Macedonia doesn't get a point. Scotland, Croatia, England, of course, Ukraine are going home. Ireland, Poland, and Spain make it out of Group E. Slovenia will be the unlucky loser there. And then Germany also going home. France and Turkey make it out of Group F. So probably the biggest 2, Belgium and Germany, going home. Very interesting one for us. Cristiano Ronaldo smashing them in for Portugal at the moment. Gareth Bale also scoring quite a bit as well. I think the first thing that I need to do is go and sort out our set pieces, which I'll do off screen. You guys don't have to worry about that. There's enough football. Let's jump forward and have a look at the draw for the second round and see who we get. Okay, I didn't get to see the draw. We just get drawn against Ireland. Interesting. We lost to Scotland. Can we beat the Irish? We've got a couple of days before that one, so Magic Betting will jump forward, look at the lineups against Ireland now. Just like that, we're a few days further forward. I refuse to learn my lesson at the moment. I've gone back to our starting 11. Twanzebe will play because Tamori has a yellow card suspension. Alexander-Arnold comes back in on the right-hand side. And my assistant suggested playing Dean Henderson. I'm going to give him a whirl. It's going to be his first appearance in European Championship competition, which I think makes more sense than it being actual debuts for the little marker there. They're playing a 4-3-3 with a very deep midfield 3. Seamus Coleman, of course, at right back. He'll take the armband for them. They've got Duffy as well from Brighton in there. McCarthy from McCarthy from Crystal Palace. His Facepacks just still from Everton. Will anchor midfield. Harry Arter from Cardiff will play as the most advanced of the midfield 3. Connolly from Brighton will lead the line up top, who's having a very good season so far this year. Callum Robinson from Sheffield United. He makes his debut in the competition for Ireland, so we should get beyond them. I've gone back to our positive structure. We're going to just calmly say, if we play our game, we'll win. And let's calmly tell the defence, I have faith in you. Keep a clean sheet. I think we're in good stead, but and the other thing I should mention, I went and put all of our Isle of Man set piece routines in so that we are not going to concede again from corner situations. Fucking Scotland. All right, first highlight. Ball forward to Twanzebe. Now, Dele Ali sends it out right to Raheem Sterling. Skips past a couple of challenges, gets into the box, tries to square it up. We're going to have another penalty review here. If I have to watch this referee run all the way across the screen, we don't, thankfully. Harry Kane's going to get the chance to add his 3rd in 4 games, all from the penalty spot. If he can find the finish, it's a good effort. A lot of power on that one. Keeper gets the right way, but couldn't get there quick enough. And thankfully, just to resolve my nerves, we get an early goal and take an early lead against the Irish side. It's a good effort. Keeper did quite well actually to guess the right direction, but too much power on it to smash that one home. We've got a highlight here immediately from the kickoff. Duffy with the ball forward. Cook does quite well to recover the ball in midfield. Anytime I ask my assistant about what lineup to use, they never start Cook, but I keep putting him back in. Sterling did quite well to beat the man, but then the strike at the end of it wasn't that great. Nearly out for a throw-in. Throw-in on the left-hand side. Chilwell to take. Can we square it up? Cook at the top of the box. Can he get the rifle out? No, instead he plays it over to Alexander-Arnold. Skips past one challenge and then does quite well actually to beat the man and smash that one into the top corner. I think he cuts inside and then smashes it on his left foot. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions to make sure. Chilwell did well, found Cook. I thought maybe Cook, if it was me on a Sunday league, I would have had a crack for the top corner. But Alexander-Arnold does well, skips past one challenge, and then it's his right foot, just rifles that one past Pim in the Irish goal, and we go 2-0 up. I think we're finally starting to see a half decent performance out of the squad. 3 games too late, but at least we're still in the competition. Chilwell now, deep ball, looks up the line towards Kane. Coleman does quite well to recover possession. Stones now, played forward to Chilwell. Cook can work it out to the right-hand side. We've got a couple of players out there. Madison, now to Cook. Work it to the right-hand side. He does quite well. Sends Raheem Sterling on a little bit of a run. Gets to the byline and cuts back towards Kane, who gets the strike away, but it's cleared out. And the highlight comes to an end. Free kick from Madison now. Looks towards back post. Kane with the flick on header and Stones manages to poke it home. It's 3 goals in 30 minutes. Where was this sort of performance against Scotland, boys? Where was this sort of performance against Croatia? I shouldn't lament on it. We're still in the competition. We need to win our games, and at least this one's putting us in a good position to get through to the quarterfinals. Half-time, 15 shots, 9 on target, 58% possession. There's no real need to do anything other than say very pleased with the performance. Let's keep it going. And the only thing we have to keep an eye on is yellow cards. There's a couple of players hovering on suspensions. Madison with a corner here, deep one across towards back post. Twansby was there and just misses out on opening his England account. Through 30 minutes now, I'm going to take off Lewis Cook and bring on Mason Mount, who continues to get suggested to me to play that deep lying role, just because that yellow card suspension. Sterling has struggled again. So we're going to bring on Dwight McNeil and switch Jadon Sancho over to play on the right-hand side. I'll hold on to the last sub for the last 10 minutes, just in case anyone does anything silly or we go down to 10 men. But let's also use Old Faithful, get creative after an hour. It seems to usually work. Looking around the grounds, Poland beating Croatia 2-1 as things currently stand. Highlight here, ball resets from a goal kick for Ireland. Flicked out to Robinson on the left-hand side, and then he's put a good crossfield switch towards Obafema, who skips past the man and smashes a ball straight at Dean Henderson, who did very well to force that one out for the corner. Cullen, going to wrap his foot around this one. It's headed over by Hendrick. A little sign of life here from Ireland. Sweden are knocking out Denmark. Holland are beating France 1-0 through Daily Blind. Italy beating Czech Republic. Spain 1-0 up against Portugal. Wales and Switzerland currently drawing. Scotland looking like they might get through against Turkey as well. Ball inside here to Coleman. The press is effective. It's a good reverse pass. Mason Mount just launches the ball forward. Is Pim going to come out and get it, or is Harry Kane going to come press? Ball over the top. Stevens does well. Skips past a couple of challenges and then drives from distance. I'm just going to use our demand more shout just for the additional time here. Find your focus, boys. Let's get through this 3 minutes. And thankfully, we get through 3-0 winners, 24 shots, 12 on target, 58% possession on the day. Good win, boys. Well done. No need to complicate stuff any further than that. And Scotland get through. Wales get through very, very late against Switzerland. Spain have knocked out Portugal. France have won after extra time against Holland. A very late comeback. And Croatia going home, a 2-1 defeat against Poland. England win in the second round, a 3-0 victory. Alexander-Arnold gets a man of the match award. My assistant can do the press conference. And sure enough, we've drawn against Scotland in the quarterfinal, so we are going to get an opportunity for revenge. Magic of editing, let's jump forward to that match now. Alright, so this time Scotland are playing a flatter 4-4-2 structure. They're going with McBurney and Grant up top together. So they might be going after a little bit. They've also dropped Kieran Tierney completely to bring O'Donnell in at right back. Ryan Porteous and McKenna are the 2 central defenders there. Graham Burke comes in on the right-hand side for them as well, West Bromwich winger. Who at one time or another was a massive wonder kid in, I think, like Football Manager 2017, I want to say. I've made a couple of changes. Twansby will keep his spot ahead of Tamori, who's actually back and available. I've dropped Raheem Sterling. Sancho will play on the right. Rashford will come on the left. He was busy when he came on against Scotland last time. And Dele Alli just hasn't hit the heights for me, so I'm going to play Phil Foden, who's a little bit more comfortable as a number 10 anyway. And we'll see if we can't get a good performance out of him with the first start. Passionately, we owe Scotland revenge after last time. And as long as I don't mess up any ridiculous team talks or anything at halftime, we should be able to get beyond them. I'm not sure how Scotland are continuing to overperform in this one. Wide free kick now. Madison to take towards back post and Stones with the header. His second from a set-piece scenario in this tournament. He's done very, very well. And thankfully, we take a lead this time against Scotland from a set piece instead of conceding from one. It's a good header from Stones, did quite well amongst a big group of defenders in our own players to power that one home. Ball in behind here, Kane should recover. McTominay went through him, and McTominay is going to get sent off. 2 yellow cards, so they're down to 10 men as well. We've been more than fortunate with opposition players flying into challenges in this tournament. To use our get creative shout, they've got a wide free kick, which is where they gave us trouble. Twinsby with a good header away. Kane now to Rashford. Can we drive at them? We've got 2 players forward. Rashford going on an amazing run there, some hell of a lot of pace. And Foden with the strike from distance, repaying us for giving him a start. It's an assist to Marcus Rashford. I'm pretty sure it was a strike that got closed down by a defender. But a wonderful effort from Foden. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. This surging run here from Rashford, he just powers past the defender in that position, who dives in. And then I think it's Tierney that comes across, and Foden with a good strike on his left peg. The keeper does get a little bit on it, but can't keep that one out for a 2-0 lead against 10 men at Scotland. In other fixtures, Italy currently beating Spain 1-0. Poland currently 1-0 up against France. We could see a couple of the bigger clubs or bigger teams drop out at the quarterfinal level. And at halftime, 2-0 up. All I have to say is very pleased with the performance, lads. Keep it going. And thankfully, I haven't actually absolutely butchered that team talk, and we might be in a better position going into the second half. Got a highlight here early. Stones goes on a little bit of a run and then finds Sancho. Bursts into the box, gets around the man, and can he find the strike? It's a wonderful run from Jadon Sancho. The assist officially goes down to John Stones, but that is an absolutely phenomenal singular run and finish. Let's check it out here in 3 dimensions. Looked maybe a little bit fortunate as he rounded the keeper, but he picks it up here on the right-hand side. He's got a lot to do, a lot of players to work his way around. Just sheer pace picks him past a couple, and then it's actually hit the keeper and he's slid in for the follow-up challenge and poked it home beyond the on-rushing goalie. And we are 3-0 up, and everything is going according to plan. Alexander-Arnold sent into the corner here, looks near post towards Kane. Keeper clears. Foden out left to Chilwell. Can he wrap his foot around the ball from the wide area? Gets to the byline, cuts it back towards Sancho. It's the second goal of the game for Jadon Sancho, and he's been absolutely fantastic. What I do have to think about now is yellow cards. I know Lewis Cook is potentially coming up on a suspension, and I think Rashford might be as well. I don't want to lose anyone for a semi-final game if we're going to get a big team. Chilwell, good ball in on his right foot there, and Sancho, lovely little dinked header back past the keeper for the 4-0 advantage. We are getting proper revenge against them. Maybe it was just luring them into a false sense of hope by losing the first game, but I didn't know the third place side could get out of the group. I definitely thought we were going home. Result here from the corner, flick on header from Foden's paw, back to McGregor, wide right area. He's going to reset through Porteous, the centre-back. Just stand him up, boys. Just let him give you the ball back. Jack sends it out left for Russell to chase into the corner. Cuts it back near post, and Carlin Grant scored his second goal against us so far. And it's a good little finish. Good little ball in there from Russell near post. And that near post run has given us a little bit of trouble in a few games now. I think Martial scored a similar goal in the last episode as well. Good finish. Did well. Maybe Henderson could have had his angles a little bit better, but it's surely only a consolation goal. Deep free kick. Stones to take into Cook. Back to Stones again. Now Foden, who's had an excellent game, definitely rewarding us for giving him the start. Maddison in possession. Got a 2v1 on the right, and so we go into Sancho. It's cleared away. McGregor looks up the line. Twinsby should recover possession quite easily. Cook into Maddison. Reverse pass to Foden. Back to Maddison again. Looks for Sancho in behind. Cut away by Robertson. Now Cook to Maddison. Back to Cook again. We're keeping possession quite effectively here. Twinsby. Just don't need to overcommit. Going all the way back to Henderson instead. Work it out to the left-hand side now, please, Dean. Instead, he goes into Cook in midfield. Sends it out to Sancho again. Good flick on header towards Kane. Backstick run was from Rashford, and he's managed to squeeze that one in at the far post. He's done that a couple of times now. Good assist from Harry Kane. We'll check it out in 3 dimensions here. Just kept possession well. I was wondering where the highlight was going there for a second. Flick on header from Sancho. We don't really want to give him neck-eye balls, but a good header from Rashford does quite well. McCrory maybe could have done a little bit better in the Scottish goal. Down in the bottom corner, it wasn't moving at pace either, but I'll definitely take it. And now, let's have a look at subs. I think Lewis Cook's on a yellow card suspension, so we're going to bring on Mason Mount to play as a deep-lying playmaker. And it looks like a couple of players are maybe struggling for fitness as well. Let's bring on Sterling to give Sancho a bit of a rest, and let's take off Rashford for Dwight McNeil, and we will set him to attack on that left-hand side. But otherwise, it's been relatively good. Hopefully, I haven't forgotten anyone as far as yellow card suspensions is concerned. But really, I'd be happy if the 30 minutes just played out. It's doing nothing for the length of the episode. All these wonderful, wonderful highlights that we're scoring. Foden comes forward. Now back to Cook. Foden, reverse pass to Cook again. Into Alexander-Arnold. Back to Sancho. Can he square it up? He goes the strike. That would have been his hat-trick. He's probably not going to be super happy that I've taken him off while he's on a hat-trick, but I think we need to focus him on the semi-final fixture, whoever we're going to come up against. France have equalised against Poland. Looking around the grounds, Italy are now 3-1 up against Spain, and Wales and Sweden still donuts for both sides. You'd expect Wales would potentially be able to get through. They left it late in the previous knockout game as well. Balling behind here for Russell, who got the first assist. Someone needs to get out to him. Alexander Arnold comes across now. It's pinballing around, and McGregor gets a strike away. It clips the post on its way out, but it was always struggling to work its way back in. Into the last 10 minutes now. Ball with Russell. Alexander Arnold does well to recover possession and play back to Henderson. Ball into Foden now. Can we work a decent strike? Maddison, who's struggling a little bit for fitness at the moment, plays it out to Dwight McNeil. Square ball across to Maddison again. Overlapping run from Chilwell. Proper lung-busting effort here from the fullback in the 84th minute. Cuts it back for Kane. A wonderful finish. We're going to demand more just to give everyone some focus through to full time. But I think the first goal we've seen from Harry Kane from open play. I could be wrong in that. But a wonderful little worked ball here. Overlapping run from the fullback. Doesn't overcommit. Gets himself all the way to the byline. Beats the man and then cuts it back for Kane. First time of asking. Sends it into the far corner. 6-1's fine, boys. Let's just defend the lead. Let's not worry about bursting forward any further. We've got another highlight. Maddison with a deep free kick towards Stones. It's pinballing around. And Twansabay gets his first goal in an England shirt. Wonderful effort from him. He's been good, actually. And I think we'll probably give him a start in the next match as well. It was a good header back across goal from Stones. And he stayed alive to it. Just flicks this one in at the near post. Good effort. Gets himself goal side as well. And it's a good header from about a yard away. 2 minutes to be added on. We're through most of that time now. Referee just needs to call it. A wonderful 7-1 win. A proper revenge performance. 20 shots, 10 on target, 54% of the ball. Good win, boys. Well done. Now let's see who we're going to get in the next round. So France have gotten through against Poland. 2-1. Kante with the 91st minute winner. Italy have knocked out Spain. And Sweden go ahead on penalties against Wales. Who are we going to draw? We're going to play Italy, who have been one of the better sides in the competition so far. I don't think they've actually lost yet. Stones gets player of the match award, 1 goal and 2 assists, which is fantastic. Magic of editing. Let's jump forward to the match against Italy now. Just like that, we're a few days ahead. Now, what is coming into it? I've gone with an unchanged lineup because they won in the last game. We should keep faith with them. But what is coming into it now is the actual player conditioning. A lot of these players that have played quite a few games, Sancho, Alexander-Arnold, Stones, they're around 88% possession. 88% conditioning, which isn't ideal. I'm assuming Italy are in a similar boat. They're playing a 4-3-3. Donnarumma, of course, in goal. A very Juventus-looking backline with Chiellini and Bonucci as the central defensive partnership. Jorginho in midfield alongside Barella and Sensi, who I've never played with myself, but I think was in some other YouTube series throughout the course of this season. Or through this version of the game. They've got Insigne on the left wing, who I think is their star player. Looks to be a very good, balanced winger on that side. Zaniolo from Roma will play on the right-hand side, 21-year-old player, good youth player prospect coming through. And Immobile, who has scored quite a bit, 19 finishing. He'll be up amongst the leading scorers with 7 so far in the competition as well. So we're going to have to do well to beat them. Let's just assertively say, pick up where you left off last time. 7 goals against Scotland kind of inflated the result a little bit. France and Sweden play in the other competition or the other semi-final. And the minimum expectation from the FA was that we made the semi. We've done that now. Got a highlight here. Ball out right to Sancho. Someone's got to get forward to support him. He hasn't got much of an angle to work with. Spinazzola's gone through him. He overcommitted to the challenge. And again, I'm going to keep complaining about it. We've got to watch this referee run over to the screen. And he's done now, 30 seconds later. Give the penalty, please. He has given the penalty. So Harry Kane's been perfect from penalties so far in the tournament. Can he give us an early lead here against Italy? It's a big effort from the big man up top, and he does quite well. Goes left and low. And Donnarumma did read it, but didn't make it over quick enough in time to keep that one out. And we go a goal up through the penalty spot. A little bit fortunate, but it's a good effort from Kane. And can we now try and defend this lead? We haven't defended lead fantastically well at any point in the competition. They've got a highlight here early. Chiellini's taking throw-ins for them, which leaves them 1v1 at the back there. If we can win the ball back here, Maddison had it for a second, but Jorginho recovers. We're 1v1 in that wide area. All the way back to Donnarumma, who's coming out of his box. Long clearance. Alexander-Arnold recovers. Now Sancho on the right-hand side. Can he play the reverse pass towards Kane? Instead, he goes the drive from distance. Donnarumma equal to it and holds. So interesting on that throw-in routine that they've got going there. Chiellini taking them early. It leaves them 1v1 at the top. If we can recover possession, we might be in a good position to get a counter-attack going. Throw in here, right-hand side for us. Alexander-Arnold to take. Reverse pass to Sancho. Deep ball in. It's headed away by Chiellini. Sensi will reset, but Maddison recovers the ball in midfield. Can we go back through Cook now? Twansabay. Looks out left towards Rashford. It's not the greatest clearance, but thankfully Lazari's head is poor. and Rashford recovers. Resets through Chilwell now. He goes through Cook at the base of midfield. Back to Stones. Just work it side to side, boys. Twines a beat to Cook. Got a 2v1 on the right if we work this correctly. It's played out to Sancho now. He goes to beat the defender again. I've lost the ability to speak, and I don't know how we've done it, but Bonucci has, I think Lazari has cleared it into Bonucci, which is probably the worst sort of own goal that you can concede. We're going to check this one out in 3 dimensions. Sancho does quite well, gets around the man. Spinazzola on a yellow card, given away a penalty already, can't overcommit to the challenge. And he does. Lazari tries to clear it, and he's hit Bonucci square in the face. Bonucci no-sells it as it flies into the back of the net. A wonderful finish. Rashford was in the area, but really, we've been more than fortunate with the way that the match engines process this one for us. Through 35 minutes now, we're going to use our demand more shout. I just want to try and keep a clean sheet if we can. Chilwell brings the ball down from the goal kick. Can he get the overlapping run here? It goes inside to Maddison, who finds Rashford. Skips past a couple of challenges, goes the drive from distance. Donnarumma equal to it and holds quite well. Donnarumma, long ball forward. Sancho's in the area, good free header. They just don't seem to want to head the ball at the moment, Italy. Chilwell does well, resets through Henderson. Just keep the ball, boys. Don't need to overcommit. Wait for them to send the man. It's a poor clearance from Henderson. Immobile recovers, but thankfully gives the ball away in transition. Cook with the ball over the top for Harry Kane to chase. And he's done quite well. Maybe could have taken a touch around the goalkeeper, but Donnarumma, good save, sends it out for the corner. Maddison with the corner. Kane's in the area, but the header just over the crossbar. Spinazzola, long ball forward. Alexander-Arnold does quite well. Sancho looks to send Kane in the corner. Chiellini with a good clearance away. Cook, switch out towards Rashford, who gets the strike, and he's going to be ruled offside, but it's a wonderful finish again. These backstick finishes, they're going to go over and have a look at VAR. Thankfully, it is drawn off, which I think is the right decision, but tell you what, Rashford finishes quite well at back post. Sensi with the ball. Deep one into Unsby with a poor clearance. It's pinballing around and we managed to scramble it away. Bonucci had 2 bites of the cherry, I think. But at halftime, 2-0 up. 12 shots, 7 on target, 51% possession. They've had 4 shots, 1 on target, 49% of the ball. I need to just say, don't look at the scoreboard and think the job is done. We have to pick up where we left off, and everyone has responded positively, which is fantastic. My team talks haven't been great, but thankfully we get it right that time. Phil Foden's got a knock as well. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. The other one we're going to have to look at is conditioning. Sancho's picked up a knock as well. Let's actually make those subs now. So we're going to bring on Dele Alli and Raheem Sterling to play at the 10 and 7 respectively. Actually, Dele Alli's been really poor, so let's bring on Mason Mount, give him an opportunity. Then if we look at player conditioning, Maddison is struggling actually, so I'm going to change that. We're going to play Mason Mount as the Messiah, and we're going to bring on Dele Alli in midfield. It's a tough ask for Alexander-Arnold and Chilwell, the 2 fullbacks, but maybe I'll just drop them back to be fullbacks on defend for the last few minutes, just to try and get them settled and not bursting forward as much. Passionately, let's say our faith in you, make a difference. Risky doing 3 subs with half an hour remaining, but we just need to try and defend the lead here. Donnarumma, long ball forward. Chiesa's come off the bench. Obviously a wonderful, wonderful wonder kid in the early versions of the game. Good switch out there to Zaniolo as well. Italy definitely playing a little bit further forward. Alexander-Arnold with a good header away. Emerson on the overlapping run here. They've made, I think, all 3 of their subs. Cuts it back to Immobile, and we managed to get it away. Raheem Sterling with a good follow-up, and Emerson thankfully ruled offside. So first real dangerous highlight we've seen for Italy, outside of a set piece. Emerson with a throw in here goes up the line. Barella heads it into Jorginho. Come on, boys. We just need to find our focus here for the last few minutes. Let's not panic. Chiesa with the ball. Looks over to Bonucci, who works it out to the right-hand side. Zaniolo's been busy now in the second half. Skips past Chilwell. And the ball across to Sensi. They've got an overlapping fullback if they can work it to him. Bonucci goes out left to Chiesa. In 1v1 against Alexander-Arnold. He skips past that challenge now. Squares it up to Barella. Gets the strike away and then managed to pull one back. All right, I need to put the 2 wing-backs back on wing-back roles. I think we're inviting too much pressure in the wide areas. Wing-back defend. Complete wing-back on support. Yeah, let's go with that. We cannot throw this away, boys. Not after being 2-0 up at half-time. Alexander-Arnold into Cook. There's a highlight continuing, which is always terrifying. Straight after a goal. Thankfully, it comes to an end. All right, we seem to have dealt with most of it. We're going to use demand more for the last 10 minutes here. We've got to throw in a deep area. Dele Alli finds Cook. Ball towards Kane. Flick on header just over the crossbar. Let's just keep possession now for the last 10 minutes, boys. Don't do anything silly. And France absolutely pummeling Sweden in the other semi-final. Sweden have just pulled a late goal back. 5 minutes of additional time to be added on here. We're going to say throw in here. Alexander-Arnold finds Dele. Back to Twines a bit. Don't do anything silly, lads. Just keep possession. There's a minute remaining. Make them commit. Henderson plays forward to Stones now. Now to Cook. Out left towards Rashford. Just go to the corner flag, please, Marcus. Or score. Chilwell with the cutback finds Cook at the top of the edge area, and Sterling's put it home. I think he's going to be ruled out for offside, but at least we are still turning the screws. And it is. It's ruled out for offside, so the right decision. We've got 10 seconds of the additional 5 minutes remaining. Donnarumma with the ball forward. Sterling knocks it out, but Chiesa does well to keep it in. Sensi. And thankfully, the referee calls full time. We're through to the final, and we're going to play France. 21 shots, 11 on target, 50% of the ball. Harry Kane and a Bonucci own goal, enough to get us beyond the Italian team calmly. Or let's passionately say, congratulations, lads. You've all dreamt of playing in the final, and now it's going to happen. And our big issue is that we've got quite a few players that I think are going to struggle for fitness heading into the last one. Spinazzola got player of the match randomly, which is an interesting one, given that he gave away a penalty. Sancho picked up a knock, but he's expected to be fit. Foden's also picked up a knock. Hopefully he can be fit. Now, can I actually rest everyone from training at an international level? I don't think I can. No, it would appear that I can't, so we're just going to have to, let's clear out the team. And we thankfully have 5 days before the final against France, so hopefully everyone can try and recover as much possession as possible. Or condition as possible. Magic of editing though, let's jump forward to the final now. Alright, so a different spot here. We're going into a final, so we're going to treat it a little bit differently. The big concern is some of the conditioning on these players. We've got players around like 85, 80%, which isn't great. I don't want to make any changes though, really, to the lineup. We're going to have to make changes for Sancho, who's only at 74%, and Foden, who's also at 74% with a knock. So Dele Alli and Raheem Sterling will come back in. They're also suggesting we play Mason Mount in midfield, which I don't... Oh, Maddison's only at 81%. That's a bit... It's difficult. Should we go with fitness instead of form? Let's keep the back four or back five as it's been in the knockout rounds, and let's make that one change with Mason Mount coming back in. He is comfortable in the role and he is fit, but we are going to have to keep an eye on player conditioning so far in this one. If we can get performances out of Dele Alli and Raheem Sterling, they absolutely owe me one after poor performances in the early thing. I think this might just be a France glitch because the Facepacks working with every other side, but it's a very similar lineup to the one that we played against early on in yesterday's episode. Laporte comes in, I think, from Titi, who initially played. Lloris will captain the side from goal. Dubois, who I'm not familiar with, a Olympic Lyon right back, looks solid. He's going to play instead of Pavard. And no Pogba, it looks like. Oh no, he's on the bench, so he might be struggling for a bit of conditioning as well at the moment, which means Blaise Matuidi will play as well. Dembele on the left wing. I think Martial started maybe the last game. I know Lamar started the last game and tore us apart, but Griezmann and Mbappe up top. I don't think they're missing anyone through suspension, which is good to see. Assertively, we're going to say, or passionately, we're going to say, special day for the supporters. Go out there and make them happy. And you can imagine, if you think back to like all the pub scenarios in the World Cup of 2018, if England actually make a championship final for the Euros, it'd be absolutely hectic over there for that fan group. We've got the ball here. Hernandez with a deep one. Dembele has possession now. Alexander-Arnold doesn't put in the shift that we need him to, and thankfully the strike from Dembele is a poor effort. Well and truly out, but you can see the danger already for France. Got quite a bit of attacking talent there, and if they get goal side, they've got the pace to hurt us. Corner to be taken now. It's going to be Dembele to wrap his foot around it. Good header away there from Cook. And Mbappe with the strike, and we managed to get it away, thankfully. And the follow-up there from Laporte just offside. It's been all France from the highlights perspective in the opening 20 minutes, and we've picked up quite a few yellow cards as well. 35 minutes played, we're just going to use the man more if we can find our focus and get through to half-time and level pegging. I've got a throw in here, though. Alexander-Arnold tries to get it across. It managed to clip the base of the post before it goes out, and we've got a corner there. Did it deflect off Kante, or did Lloris make a good save? It's going to be Mount to take the resulting corner. One towards Kane, and he's got the header in. Assist from Mason Mount, but a wonderful front post header from Harry Kane. And is the only thing that we weren't doing well at the start of this series, at the start of the Euros, our set-piece routines, because they have consistently led towards goals. He peels off the shoulder of the defender. France don't have anyone set at near post, and thankfully, that one manages to squirrel its way through to take a 1-0 lead in the Euros final. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half. We're through that now. So France have had 5 shots, 1 on target, 49% possession. They have had more highlights than we have, though. We've had 6 shots, 1 on target, and 51% of the ball. Passionately or assertively, we've got to guard against complacency now. I don't think the job is done. We've got Ben Chilwell and Harry Kane both looking stressed, which isn't ideal for your captain and your starting left back, who's on a yellow card and struggling for conditioning. Throw in here, right-hand side, Alexander-Arnold to take. Ball in. Kane does quite well. Cook's been quite busy. Varane with the header away. Mason Mount. Oh, he's gone through the lost the ball to Tolisso. They're 2v1 here at the back. Mbappe on the left-hand side. He's got the pace to beat us all, and thankfully the drive didn't have that much venom on it. Anderson does well to save and hold. Mount with a corner here for us. Twansby with the header and just over the crossbar. If you had to go on far post, that could have been 2-0. Throw in here, left-hand side, Chilwell, who's doing his best to try and get through the game here. Can he find the cutback? Looks for Rashford. Mount at the edge of the area. Back to Cook. Now Mount. Cook again. Mount again. Ball out left towards Ben Chilwell. Lung-bursting run from the fullback. He's had a wonderful tournament, actually. Both fullbacks have. Kane with the flick on header. It's hit the deck. Sterling's pinballing it around and Laporte manages to get it away. Got a deep free kick here. Alexander-Arnold finds Cook. Looks to send Sterling in the channel. Doesn't quite work out. Ball in behind towards Lacazette. Twansby does very, very well to recover and play the ball forward. Just head to the corner flag, Raheem. We can definitely kill an hour. Dele Alli. Now to Cook, who's been very busy in these highlights. Sends it out left towards Rashford. Can he beat the man? Skips past one challenge, gets the strike away, but Lloris equal to it. Is that the end of the highlight? I desperately want to make our subs. I'm really concerned that Lloris is just going to pick the ball up, knock it long towards Mbappe, and they're going to get in behind. Dembele with the ball. Back to Varane. Looks for the overlapping run of Dubois. Skips past one challenge. Looks for Mbappe back post, and he's gotten there. They've found the equaliser. Tactically, what are we going to do here? We've got to look at conditioning, because I think that's the bit that's killing us at the moment. Chilwell really struggling. Sessegnon's going to come on, even though he's barely played throughout the course of this tournament. And then, what are we going to do for the other one? Maybe we go on player rating instead. Sterling has again struggled, so Sancho's going to come on. And then I'm concerned in midfield. Do I trust Lewis Cook to get through the match? Dele Alli's been poor. Let's try and get Foden back out there. I know he's injured. I know he's got a knock, but those are the players that I think could make a big difference for us coming off the bench. They've got a highlight here. Dembele with possession. Don't concede before we've made our subs. Kante to Tolisso. Now to Matuidi. Mbappe, good header from Alexander-Arnold. And thankfully it comes to an end. We're going to use that get creative shout as well. Might as well go after it. All right, into the last 10 minutes. This is the first highlight we've seen. Lloris with the ball forward. Rashford does quite well. Can he burn him with his pace here on the left-hand side? Gets in, and the strike was poor. Just had to maybe slow down. He had players bursting their lungs to get into the box. Deep free kick. Stones to take. Looks to send Rashford in the corner again, but he flicks it back to Mount. Great reverse pass. Can he find the finish? It's straight at Lloris. Well, we're going to use our demand more shout. 10 minutes remaining. Can we try and find a late winner here, or are we going to go to additional time? Additional time is going to destroy both sides from a conditioning perspective. They've got some players really struggling as well. Ball into Cook. Reverse pass towards Kane. It's headed away, but Mount's going to reset. Alexander-Arnold now, right-hand side. Cuts it back to Cook. Ball back stick to Rashford, and he's found him. Lewis Cook has been absolutely magnificent in this game. And to be fair, so has Mason Mount. Is Rashford going to be the hero? We're into the additional time now. It's lovely work possession here. Not rushing anything. Finds Cook. He just hangs it back post. And Rashford, as he has done a bunch of different times throughout the course of this series already, pops up at back post to head that one home. 4 minutes to be added on. Deep free kick here. Stone sends Rashford into the corner. He has gotten through an absolute marathon in this one. Finds Kane front post, and that is surely the sealer. The European Championships for the first time ever are surely coming England's way. Or we've still got, I'm still tense about it, because I know Mbappe's Mbappe, and all he needs is half a chance to find a goal. But a wonderful ball there from Rashford. Kane with an excellent run between the fullback and the striker. Central defender. And we've gone 3-1 up. Surely that is it, boys. Let's just get through the final whistle. We've done it. We've found the victory. Oh, God, we made it tough. I thought when we lost to Scotland, we were out. But we managed to find our way back through to the final and win 3-1. 15 shots, 8 on target, 48% possession. Harry Kane with the double. Rashford with the additional one there to put us ahead. Passionately, let's say, congratulations, boys. Enjoy these moments. And we are European champions at the first time of ours. And freedom of the country, I don't know what that means. It means we won an international continental competition. What a performance, though. World rankings, we move up to 3rd position in the world rankings list. France still remain top. Brazil move up into 2nd spot. Belgium and Portugal and Spain all drop down. England lift the European Championship. Harry Kane gets the Man of the Match award in the last one. Deschamps disappointed. I'm going to go to the press conference. Congratulations. Wonderful result for everyone. Determination to win. Everybody wanted to win this badly for the first time. And we're going to go on and try and have a real crack at the next World Cup. Thoroughly delighted and absolutely delighted to win the competition. And questionably strong affiliation with English supporters, but with club teams coveting your signature. Undertaking a dual role? No, I would stay with England. England fans worship in the mixer. Fantastic. And where do we go now? Players such as Fraser Forster, Jordan Henderson, Nick Pope were overlooked. And I don't think they'd get in. If we won it with a young team, why would we change it up before the World Cup? Oh, the final was actually at Wembley, so we had a home field advantage, which I wasn't even aware of going into the final. Harry Kane finishes as top goal scorer with 7 goals. That was pretty much just the second game against Scotland where he got the majority of them. Rafael Guerreiro from Portugal gets 4 assists for that player. Belgium, biggest underachievers, but they also played the best match, a 1-1 draw with Czech Republic in the first day of competition, and Sweden, the overachievers, making it through to the semi-finals. The FA are delighted, and Dele Alli thanks me for starting him in the final. I definitely would have played Phil Foden had he been fit. All right, are there like player of the team of the season awards or anything like that? Let's passionately say congratulations on winning the trophy, lads, and everyone's responded positively. Are there like end of tournament awards? Like, doesn't someone win player of the tournament or team of the tournament? Kane got 2 player of the match awards, which is a record for an English player, and he also got the golden boot. Immobile equal with 7 goals but 1 less appearance. I think, is that how that works? Or maybe it's average rating. Ronaldo, despite going out relatively early, scored 5 goals in the group stages. Now, as far as the England players in the Dream Team 11, most of the squad made it, to be fair. Henderson in goal, which is tremendous given that he didn't play in the group stages. Chilwell, Twansby, Stones, and Alexander-Arnold are the back 4. Rashford on the left wing is an interesting one. Kane at front as well. Maddison, Cook, and Mount all make the subs as well. So, tremendous result from everybody. And I think that puts us in a really interesting place for World Cup qualification and the World Cup, which will be the next thing that we come back for. It's hard to go through and look at a schedule and see exactly where we're at. We're not going to worry about the European League. I'm not stressing about it. But we will come back in tomorrow's episode and play our World Cup matches in Qatar, which I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it, but at least we'll go into that tournament as the European champions, and it does mean that there'll probably be Confederations Cup football at some point or another as well. But what a tremendous ride. Oh, that one had a bit of everything, didn't it? I didn't think we were actually going to get out of the group. I don't know what that sneaky 3rd place rule is, but it's helped us get our first European title. So that's 1 ticked off. We now need to get ourselves a World Cup. Thankfully, we're going to have 2 championship opportunities at it. And I guess we also have to defend our Euro title in a couple of years as well. This one's been an absolute marathon. I'm sure it's going to be butchered down as much as humanly possible in the edit as well, but thank you for sticking through it if you watched the entire thing. If you want to drop a like on this video to support us and celebrate our European Championship triumph, you can do that. If you want to subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all of our future videos as they continue to release, that's absolutely fine as well. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you guys again in the mixer.